Rosalie Preston, present. Keith Pitts,
Present.
Laverne Frericks, Anita Stonehawker,
Present.
Dave Trejo,
Present.
Arvie Powell,
Present.
Eva Cooper,
I am present.
Marvin Bell,
Present.
Barbara Tyson Frazier,
Present.
Oscar Ruiz. I don't think he's here. Jackie Jackson,
Present.
Will Yates.
Present.
Okay. So we have a quorum.
Thank you.
And Keith, are you able to bring people into the... Oh, here's Joan. Okay. Joan, are you on your phone or?
There she is.
Hi. Yes, right. I'm
Okay,
here.
okay.
Oh.
So
sorry.
Joan Jacobs is here. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So
We can move on to item number 2, Joan.
item number 2. Okay. Thank you. General public comment on non-agenda items within the Neighbourhood Council subject matter jurisdiction. Each speaker will be allowed 2 minutes per speaker. Please try to keep to 2 minutes. Thank you so much. If press 9 to raise your hand and press 6 to unmute. Has anyone raised their hand or unmuted? I don't see anything. Does Rosalie, Keith, do you see anybody with their hand raised?
Oh.
Or unmuted?
No.
No.
No. Okay. Thank you. Then we'll go on to item number 3, reports. Is anyone here from CD15?
No, it doesn't look like her.
I'm having problems hearing. Los Angeles PD?
Oh, yes, Officer Hamoka's here from LAPD.
Great. Officer Hamos, would you like to speak, please? Thank you.
I'm
Unmute.
trying to unmute him.
Oh, you've got the capacity to unmute. Okay. Mute myself and you can talk to me.
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hey, this is Officer Hamoka of Southeast Division. I just wanted to go over 3 basic topics tonight. So I'll be brief because I know there's a lot of other people that need to speak. So I'm going to go over really quickly just a quick crime update, number 1, and number 2 to talk a little bit what I've been doing in the basic car area. And then number 3, and finally to kind of request a little help from the Harbor Gateway North. So again, I'm the senior lead officer for its basic car, Adam 63, and its Harbor Gateway, which borders Imperial Highway to the north and 120th Street to the south. And my east and west borders are Figueroa all the way east to Central. Okay, so for the crime update for the last week has been, noticed lately there's been an uptick in robberies and random criminal threat crimes going on the Main Street corridor, primarily from the 105 freeway to 120th Street, and also on San Pedro from the 105 freeway to 120th Street. In response to this over the weekend, our area office, they look at crime reports and crime trends, and so they decided to shift patrol assets to address these issues. Over the weekend, they moved all free assets to the area that I just described. And starting this week, which is the 12th, all the way to the 18th, their main mission focus, or one of the main mission focuses, is going to be from just north of Imperial Highway all the way to 120th Street, and from Broadway to Central. So it's not going to be uncommon to see more patrol officers in their free time in between radio calls, gang enforcement details and such be in the area, because we've noticed in the past that high visibility a lot of times are the best deterrent to crimes going on in the neighborhood. Number two, what I've been doing in the neighborhood in Harbor Gateway is with CD15. I wish Miguel was on the call, but he kind of alerted me probably about a month ago to some problems over on Imperial Highway in Clovis. There was this, anyone who was trying to go north or south on Clovis really couldn't because of the obstruction of the view because of a number of box trucks and RVs. And then also on Clovis and Imperial, there's a huge amount of trash that was accumulating on the north side of the street. So if you drive over there anytime today, you'll see that all the RVs are gone now. The big box truck was a 33,000 pound box truck. That's gone now. And CD15 with their trash pickup, they've done a phenomenal job in being able to, improve the look of the Harbor Gateway over there. I can't say enough about them. They've really done a great job. So, all that area is cleared out, happy to say, and continuing to try to work on addressing the homeless encampments in the area. And so that's number two. My last thing I wanted to talk about is really kind of requesting help with the Harbor Gateway North as a body. I don't know if you guys remember, but probably in the fall, I started talking about my interactions with Caltrans and trying to be able to expedite certain cleanups to get done because, every entity, state entity, local entity, they have their own protocol on how to deal with encampment cleanups. But lately, I could really use the Harbor Gateway North support, namely perhaps in a letter of support addressed to Caltrans themselves, because as an officer, there's only so much I can do. I've written the emails, I've made the requests, I've taken the pictures, I forwarded them on. I've even copied Nicholas Chavez and I believe Oscar and Miguel as well. So I think they're aware of it. But there comes a point in time where I just can't do any more from the city side. So in the past, what's worked a lot of times when I used to work in the Southeast Empowerment Council, a little further north of you guys, was that I found that if I could receive a letter of support, getting behind the cleanups and being able to stress the importance of getting these cleaned up, it goes a long way in being able to move the cause. So, and the reason why I stress it so much is because one of these encampments is 2 blocks away from an elementary school. I've gotten to know the people in the encampments very well, and I can say without fail, all of them have a history of either narcotics use or property crimes in the past. Also, many of these encampments are under the freeways, which we all know the summer months coming up, or as it gets warmer, where they're living is the brush is gonna start drying up, and I just don't want to see any kind of unnecessary fire start, because a lot of these homes are, a lot of these encampments are right next to homes, or they're next to businesses. So I'm just trying to mitigate any kind of future problems. If anyone from the council would like to be able to see what these encampments look like firsthand, I can arrange that through a ride along or whatnot, or maybe taking one of our Southeast vans that can fit a lot of people, and you guys can take a look firsthand of what I'm looking at, because if there's a letter of support written, that it's important that you guys know what you're supporting, not just taking my word for it. So I'd be happy to follow up with an email to Miguel and kind of reiterate what I'm talking about here and the importance of it, and any kind of information you guys would need in the future to expedite it would be appreciated. And that's pretty much all I have. If anyone has any questions. Hello?
Officer Hamado, this is Eva
Yes.
in Athens on the Hill. Is there a specific area that you need us to focus on, or just Harbor Gateway North?
No, ma'am, you know what? That's a great question. There are primarily four different encampments in 3 locations. So I have 2 encampments underneath the 105 freeway at Broadway. I have a third encampment at Main Street and the 105 freeway. And then I also have a encampment which is right across the street from 209 East 116th Place. So a total of 4 encampments in 3 locations. And I can put this all in an email in case it's kind of I know it's a lot to write down.
Okay.
And also we got one starting on Hoover and the 105 freeway, under the freeway.
Okay, perfect. That would be great to lump into this.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Officer Hermosa.
You know, I have Officer Martinez here too, and he can give you an update as well.
Hello.
Officer
Hello.
Martinez, thank you.
Hi, yes, this is Officer Martinez. I'm back. So it's been a while since I've been to this meeting. Officer Mocha gave you a lot of information. That's good stuff. Real quick, for those of you on the call that don't know who I am, I'm the senior lead officer for Basic Car 897, and my boundaries go from basically all the way up to Imperial Highway, all the way down to the 91 freeway, and then they go Vermont to Figueroa. So I have the big long corridor, and I've been going over my crime stats, what's happening, what we've been kind of working on, and what I'm looking at right now. There's been approximately 11 recovered vehicles within the strip, and those are stolen vehicles that are just dropped off. We've been pulling them out of there, mainly from El Segundo all the way down to Redondo Beach. There's a pocket in there all along Figueroa into the neighborhoods. We're going in there, and we've got recovered vehicles. Another alarming thing, just for the community to understand, is the stolen vehicles. Last 2 months, there's been 13 stolen vehicles taken from the strip, a few from Athens on the Hill, and then you go down to, just south of Menlo and 149th Street, and then all the way down by Alondra. There's been a few in the neighborhoods there. So I don't have the statistics on the car, but Kias are being taken for their catalytic converters. Those are being removed from them. And then I know there was, in the past, there's always been alarm with burglary from motor vehicles in the evening hours, but right now I don't see any kind of trend, anything really happening with that. So that's a good thing. And the robberies have been a few, and the robberies that are occurring are along Figueroa. One write-up that I did receive, there was a ADW shooting that occurred on February 4th at 134th Street in Vermont. It's a male Hispanic victim, but apparently he had left a nightclub over in 77th Division off Alameda, and I guess he was followed all the way down here. He got out of a car, and then they fired upon him, striking him in the leg. He sustained an injury, but he's okay. There's no further on that. There's no unknown. It says unknown gang affiliation, so nothing to look at. Maybe something happened at the nightclub they were at. But another thing I wanted to let everyone know as I'm back, we're working on cleanups. I have several to mention. One, there was a stake bed truck over off of Estrella by Gardena Elementary. We removed that. I've been working with Union Pacific and the railroads. We cleaned up a homeless encampment just south of Rosecrans Park, and they're putting in a new fence line on that south end of the park. So just waiting on that. That's a good thing. There's a couple homeless individuals living under Alondra Boulevard, Alondra Boulevard at the 110 freeway overpass. It's a male white that I'm working with. I'm trying to get him housing to get him out of there, but he has a history there with his father in that area, owning a business in the past, and he's from out of state. It's tough for him to get moved. Individual tried helping me, a community member tried helping me remove him, but with no luck. And then you guys were, several community members were complaining about a trailer along Hoover and 130th. We got that removed. I left several notes. I've left citations. and nobody responded to me, my business card. So we removed it, and then we cleaned a cul-de-sac at 117th in Denver. It's been an eyesore for the longest time. Great help with CD15, their cleanup crew. They help me. They have a special crew that goes out and cleans up. I know Miss Lou Watson. She's talked with them, and they've helped her out in Athens on the Hill. So it's a really good program that they have, CD15. And then another thing, real quick. Anybody down in the Merritt Track? There's a John Ross. I guess he got out of prison. He grew up in the neighborhood, and he just lingers in the neighbors' yards, steals things from the neighbors. We're trying to get a hold of him. But if anybody's on this call and you've had a John Ross incident, please make a report. We need to get all the reports we can on this individual. Apparently, he just goes in the yards and takes little items, thefts. So, but again, he frequents the area, and he goes and he looks for the houses that are vacant. And there's been a few, and right now being worked on, especially in the Merritt Track. So just be heads up with that. And also, I'm working on in the business district at 130th and 132nd. We're getting an influx of motorhomes over there because what's happening, the sheriffs are really going to work with cleaning up the motorhomes in their area off Broadway. And a lot of them, not that they're pushing them, but a lot of them are leaving. They're coming over to Figueroa, and it's an alarming rate. They go into these cul-de-sacs where the businesses are, and it's getting really tough to remove them. But we're working on a program. I'm working with Field Deputy Nick, and we're trying to get. It's going to take a while, but like Athens on the Hill had a gate erected. They're looking at possibly putting gates up on these cul-de-sacs to keep, the motorhomes out of there. So with that, let me just throw something else out real quick at you. Let me see where I have it. We have several events coming up on Thursday, February 29th. We're going to have it's going to be a coffee with a cop. It's going to be at the U-Haul. Senior Lead Officer Gutierrez is going to have it. It's the location is 11020 South Vermont Avenue, and that's going to happen from 9 to 11, again at U-Haul off of Vermont. We're also going to have a walk with a cop on Tuesday, March 5th. That's from 7:30 to 8:30 at 330 East 93rd Street. That's going to be at 93rd Street Elementary. And then we're doing another coffee with a cop at a 7-Eleven on March 6th from 9 to 11. And that 7-Eleven's over there off of Figueroa and Century Boulevard. The address is 505 West Century Boulevard. But that's all I have. I'm just getting back again to my emails and my phone calls. And we're just, you got anything, let me know or email me, and we'll work on it and see what we can come up with. So that was it for me.
Okay, thank you so much. And are there any questions? Anybody raise their hand or unmute?
Yes, I did.
Okay, Lou, thank you.
Watson, Officer Martinez.
Yep.
Okay, I have a couple of issues that I would like to bring to your attention. Today I was driving around and I was at Hoover and near El Segundo. That big RV is back on the west side of Hoover, and it seems to be to me as if a homeless encampment is attempting to locate on the other side of that RV.
Okay.
Okay, that's an issue. And
Okay.
And the other issue that I have is the RV, the camper that's on the south side of Laconia Boulevard near Vermont.
Right towards the, right. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Has that individual been engaged since the last time I made my report?
Yes, he's been cited. The camper's been cited, and I think I cited it twice so far now. So we'll go back and revisit that one.
Because it seems like it might be attracting attention.
Mhm.
I fear it won't be very long before there'll be other campers or RVs at that location in that cul-de-sac.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Lou. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Lou. Is there anybody else who would like, if you have your hand raised, please would you unmute? And I cannot see hand raised where I am, so unmute and introduce yourself.
Okay, this is Nita.
Yeah.
And I was just hoping to be included on the email of the encampments that you'd like to have reports on.
When
Okay,
the
yeah,
when the officer
Yeah,
sends the
that was
email
Officer.
to McGill and hopefully he'll copy the Harbor Gateway North, then we'll forward that to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, I can see hand raised, that a hand is raised when somebody, so thank you, Nita.
I
Okay.
just want to
Keith.
say something, Joe.
Yes.
Welcome back, Officer Martinez.
Thank you.
Denver missed you.
Okay.
Between Gardena Boulevard and 165th. Yeah, I reported 2 cars that were left there, and it took them over a week to pick up the abandoned cars. And during that time, we had people coming by and picking parts on 2
Yeah,
vehicles.
actually, the last week and a half, I've taken 2 vehicles from there. They're both stripped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I taken them, and then I wrote, I think it was like 8 parkers up and down that street. And then
What do we do? I was going to ask you, what do we do if we see people actually taking it off the cars?
You mean stripping the cars?
Yeah, should we call you immediately or something?
If you think they're stripping the cars illegally, yeah, then just you can generate a police call. Don't call me. Call 911. Yeah, I'll call 911, and they can send a vehicle out there, a black and white police vehicle, and they can send them out there to do investigation. When I went over there, there was a female Hispanic that came out, and she was talking to me. She said she owned one of the, she said she owned it, and she said her family or friend owned it. And I said, okay, so I gave her a break. I let her have it for a week there, told her to get it off the street. She never did, so I went back and I picked it up.
Okay.
But I gave her a chance, and yeah, that it didn't work out. I was playing nice guy, but yeah, but we're gonna we'll be back. I'll be back there tomorrow. We'll be back. I was up and down Vermont citing vehicles. With this, right now with policy and everything changing, we have to now. In the past, a vehicle that wasn't registered past 6 months, we have to now warn it with a citation and give it time to, the owner's time to remove it or get it registered, and then we can impound it. So it's getting a little harder. It's getting a little tougher. I'll be honest with you. It's not like it used to be where after 6 months you should register your vehicles.
Right.
But times are changing. COVID changed a lot of stuff with municipal codes and moratoriums and laws. It really kind of. Yeah, I won't go into it, but anyways, yeah. So that's where we're at right now. But we'll be back there. I know you're all those apartment buildings up and down Denver. There's no sufficient parking, and that's the problem. And then you get individuals buying extra cars, and they're trying to, some try to sell them out there or part them out. They park them along Denver, and that creates more of a problem for you guys that are, are living over there because there's minimal parking.
Okay, thank you very much. If that's all, then we should pass on to the next
Dave has his hand up.
Keith.
Dave has his hand up.
Hi,
Okay.
Officer Martinez. Yeah, hi, Officer Martinez. It's good to have you back. I hope
Yes, sir.
everything went well with the trial stuff. I have that same corner, 165th and Ainsworth, over by the school. It's just, it feels like I might as well get the 311 app open for graffiti every other day. If it doesn't happen three days a week, it's a pretty good week. But it's 165th and Ainsworth in particular, and then right next to the Virgin Mary. I'm sure you've seen it, but and you and I talked about it. If I get that report in by before 7 a.m., then it can get cleaned up early. If not, it's got to stay out because I don't know if it's safe for the Gap guys to come out when they're out in the middle of the day. But
Right,
it's a lot. I have some camera footage with the school cameras if you have time to come
Okay.
by. On the Ainsworth side. You can see there's two good faces that we got last week that you can probably take a look at.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. Maybe, yeah, we can do it, and absolutely, I'll see if we can get like still photos off it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, tomorrow I have a task force, but Thursday I can come by.
Yeah, if you give me a heads up or text me, it'll be like a little easier, or I'll have someone walk you through it if I'm not around.
No, yeah,
But
I'll text. I'll hold you either way, and we'll do it conveniently when you can be there.
yeah, sounds good.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. And is there anyone else, Keith? You don't see any other hands?
Now, Lou's hand's still up, but I think she's done.
Okay. All right, so if nobody else is responding, we will go on to episode, I was going to say, to item number 3C. Anybody here from the mayor's office? Again, I cannot even see who is here, so
No, it does not look like anyone's here.
thank
And
you.
also for 3E, Phillips 66, they're coming next month because their representative said their presentation wasn't ready.
Okay, thank you. Okay, how about Los Angeles County Supervisor's Office, Second District?
Doesn't look like,
Doesn't look as if anybody.
no.
No, thank you. Okay, Department of Neighborhood Empowerment.
Can't see Octaviano here.
Yes?
No, no one's here.
No, you don't see him. Okay, thank you very much. So passing on to, let's see. Next page, item number 4, administrative motions. Approval of the January 9th, 2024 board minutes. Have we all read the board minutes? Yes, no? Chorus of yeses, a chorus of noes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, if anybody hasn't read them, then let us know, but otherwise I will just call for a motion.
I'll make the motion. Keith,
Thank you, Keith. And
Second.
Nita, thank you. Okay, and then if there are no questions, we can proceed to the vote. Rosalie? Hello?
Joan Jacobs,
Yes,
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
yes.
Laverne Frericks,
can you unmute? Everybody on the board should be unmuted so that they can answer rapidly. And if you are on the phone, I think you press 6, is that it, Rosalie? Or press 9, let me go back.
I'm not sure if I can vote since I
Number
missed the
6.
last meeting.
Oh, okay, well, just say you're abstaining.
Okay, I'm abstaining.
Thanks very much, Laverne.
Okay, Nita Stonehawker,
Yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Harvey Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Barbara Tyson Frazier,
Yes.
Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
Will Yates. Is Will?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Then we will go on to item 4B, approval of the January 23rd general membership minutes. And again, has everybody, Barbara, did you have something you would like to say?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Sorry, for some reason your name popped up on my screen. So thank you. Okay, so would anybody like to, I will call for a motion. If somebody would like to make a motion on the approval of the January 23rd, 2024 general membership minutes.
I approve. I first.
Thank you, Barbara.
I second.
Second, thank you. Keith, is that yes?
Marvin.
Marvin, thank you, Marvin.
Okay, roll call.
Were there any questions, comments? None? Yes, thank you, Rosalie. If you'll go to the roll call.
Joan Jacobs,
Yes,
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yes.
Lyvern Frericks,
Abstain?
Nita Stonehawker,
Yes. That was a yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Arby Powell,
Thinking I wasn't at the meeting. I missed the meeting.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Eva,
Yes.
thank you.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Barbara Tyson Frazier,
Yes.
Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
Will Yates.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, item number 4C, approval of the December 2023 monthly expenditure report.
Let me go.
Do you want us to share or share the screen?
Yes, could you share? As I say,
I'll try it.
yes, thank you very much, Keith. Thank you, that's lovely.
Okay, can you see it?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. We started out with a beginning balance of $26,836.28. Total spent was $700.98, leaving a remaining balance of $26,135.30. We did have $1,540 outstanding and $428 in the commitment, leaving the net available balance of $24,167.30. If we go down to our expenditures, we spent, paid AT&T, Giuliano's. This was for our holiday board meeting, $21.82. The interpreters for the meeting, Spanish interpreters for the general membership meeting, $200. Our lease copier, $76.09. AT&T monthly business line, $29.73. The update for the website, $200. AT&T landline, we paid $27.70. And we paid for our lease copier $76.09. Paid again for the interpreter for the Planning and Land Use Committee, which was $200. Our monthly rent for December 1st of $670. And our lease for January 1st, we also paid of $670, bringing a total of $1,540 of expenditures. These are the receipts. Okay.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions before we go ahead? I think we're fine. Thank you.
Rosalie makes the motion to approve.
Okay, thank you, Rosalie. And a second? I will second. Okay. Rosalie,
Roll call.
Yes, thank you.
This is approval of the December 2023 monthly expenditure report.
Mhm.
Joan, did you ever finish up your training?
Oh, no, I didn't. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I still have that last third to do.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yes.
Laverne Frericks
Abstain?
on the monthly expenditure report. Okay. Nita Stonehawker,
Approve.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Arby Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Barbara Tyson Frazier,
Sustain.
Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
Will Yates.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you very much. Then we will go on to item E. No, we will go on to item D. Approval of the January 24 monthly expenditure report. Keith, we call on you again.
Okay.
Thank
Okay, for January, we've had a beginning balance of $26,135.30. Total spent was $3,183.02, leaving us a remaining balance of $22,952.28. We still have an outstanding of $1,374 and a commitment for $664.79, leaving a net available of $20,913.40. We move to our expenditures for that month. AT&T $69.55. Staples, this was to replace our USB drive when we had a broken damaged USB drive. So we had to replace that with $13.13. This is the repair of the drive of $95. We had refreshments for our general meeting from Ralph's, which is $90.34. Our monthly rent was $670. Once again, the rent again for January. I don't know why they did it twice for the December and the January, carrying it over.
Oh, Keith, it was because you
Remember,
wrote,
she
wrote
had,
the check and they
and she denied it.
delayed it. Well, they delayed issuing the
Yeah.
December check
Okay.
because of the holiday season somehow.
Okay, and then we had the walking man to distribute the flyers, which was $1,575. The interpreter for the planning and land use was $200. General membership meeting location rental was $228 for 136th Street School. We had the website update of $200.
Oh, the
mailroom.
The permit though was not for 135th because we met at 118th Street.
Oh, I'm sorry, 118th Street. Then February office rent of $670 and our January copy bill for $76.09. And that is it.
And I just want to clarify on the USB, we had to get the old one repaired because there were some things that I'd put on there before I could get a new USB and transfer everything, and it separated, so the old one was repaired and then everything was put on the new one, so.
Thank you, Rosalie. Thank you, Keith, very much for that report.
Welcome.
If there are no questions or so on, I would ask for a motion to approve the expenditure report?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Keith, thank you.
Okay, roll call. Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yes.
Laverne Frericks,
Yes.
Nita Stonehawker,
Yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yeah.
Arby Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Barbara Tyson Frazier,
Sustain.
Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
Will Yates.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you very much. We will now go on to item number, letter E. Approval of granting $2,000 as a neighborhood purposes grant to Reading Partners Literacy Tutoring Program at Figueroa Street Elementary School. I would ask for a motion for somebody to make a motion to approve this.
I make a motion to approve it.
I second it.
Are there any questions regarding this program or?
I just want to point out that after the presentation last month, Marvin Bell, our District 6 representative, and I did meet at the Figueroa Street School. And Shelley Agostino, who spoke last month, met us, and we met one of the assistant principals there, and they had us come into the classroom where the tutoring takes place twice a week. So we got to see the program in progress, and also we were shown that the Reading Partners creates their own books for the program. I mean, they use other regular books, but they do create some of their own so that the kids can practice with phonics, and also they're, they try to have the stories culturally relevant to the students. And we saw the kids on the laptops that the program purchases being tutored virtually. And they explained about how they recruit the tutors from often from colleges, and they get college credit for doing the volunteer tutoring. And then for some of the kids who have difficulty, learning through just the virtual situation, they have some in-person tutors for those students. So, it seemed like a very good program, and we could understand a little better why the overhead costs seem to be so much.
Okay, thank you, Rosalie. Anybody have any questions or other comments? You would make.
So Marvin made the motion, and did anyone second it?
I second it.
Oh, Barbara, thank you.
Yes, I did.
Thank you, Barbara. So if Rosalie, if you would take the roll call, thank you.
Okay, Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yes.
Laverne Frericks, what was that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Nita Stonehawker,
Yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Arby Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Barbara Tyson Frazier,
Yes.
Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
Will Yates.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, and to the last F on that, under number 4, approval of up to $500 to support the spring egg hunt at Rosecrans Recreation Center on Saturday, March the 23rd.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Nita. And a second?
I second.
Thank you, Marvin. And are there questions or comments? And I need Keith and or Rosalie to help me see if there are questions or comments.
None.
Nothing? Thank you.
I have questions. The egg hunt, I'm not aware of the egg hunt. So
So
where's
this is the program that Rosecrans Recreation Center is doing, and they put it on last year, and so they'll do something similar again. So they purchase refreshments for the kids, and also, you know, the candy that they, you know, I don't think any of us were able to go last year, but I assume they put it out in the grassy area. Not quite clear about that, but several of us were at the Halloween event at the Rosecrans Recreation Center last October, and it's kind of a similar setup where the kids get their refreshments first, and then I think they're given like little tickets so they can go out and find the candy.
Okay, thank you. Are we ready to go ahead with the vote? Okay. Rosalie, if you would take the roll call, thank you.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yes.
Laverne Frericks,
Yes.
Nita Stonehawker,
Yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Harvey Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Barbara Tyson Frazier,
Yes.
Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
Will Yates.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes.
Thank you, everybody. And we pass on to item number 5, approval of the revised Harbour Gateway North Neighbourhood Council bylaws as recommended by the Bylaws Committee. And that will also be followed by a vote. Okay, so does everybody have a copy of that, Rosalie?
Well, it was sent out. I don't know if you want us to try to screen share it.
Oh, yeah, would be perfect actually if you could screen share it. So as I go through it or say what the changes were, then people can follow, unless you want to go through the changes. Makes no difference to me. Whatever you want to do.
I don't have it up, Rosalie. I'll screen
Oh.
share.
Okay, all right. I was just pulling it up too. So.
Okay, thank you, Keith. Oh, that's lovely. So on page 1, it's basically just a few ways of rephrasing something, but it doesn't really change anything.
So the new language is in red. The language that's being removed is with strikeouts. And the committee followed the guidelines from the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment template for rewording to be a little more clear.
So that so it says the Harbor Gateway North Neighborhood Council shall be the Harbor Gateway North Neighborhood Council. Is that how you read that first sentence, Rosalie?
It's reworded.
I understand that. So
Right.
it's reworded. It says the
Shall,
Harbor Gateway North Neighborhood Council
shall be the.
shall be the Harbor Gateway North Neighborhood Council.
It just says the
And-
name of this neighborhood council,
Ah, gotcha, Keith. Thank you.
the Harbor
Yes, because I
Gateway.
kept reading that and I thought, I think this is just a repetition. Yes, the name of this neighborhood council. I thought the name had to go in there, so I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Hereinafter referred as HGNNC. Lovely. So composition shall consist of 17 stakeholders, elected, selected, or appointed. Change to officer being rather than chair, chairperson, and vice chairperson. And then going down, 18 years of age or older who live, work, or own real property as opposed to simply own property within our council. Okay, so going down through one, when a board added is when a board member ceases to maintain their stakeholder status pursuant to these bylaws, their position shall be deemed vacant. At the request of the board, if the stakeholder status of a board member is in question, then the department will verify the status using the department's procedure. Section 2, a quorum. The quorum shall be 9 members of the board. Board and committees shall have a fixed quorum number. Floating quorum is not allowed. All right, so it has to be fixed. So, section 3, unless specified otherwise in these bylaws, official action is taken at a meeting at which a quorum is met by a simple majority vote by the board members present. Abstentions are treated as a non-vote. I think there has been some question about that
Hold
previously.
on,
Sorry?
I lost it. Hold on.
You did. There we go. Well done. Thank you. Okay. Any board member who misses 4 regularly scheduled consecutive neighborhood council board general general membership meetings during any 12-month fiscal year, that's July to the end of June, fiscal year period will be automatically removed from the board, automatically. Each neighborhood council board member absent shall be recorded in the council meeting minutes or other manner of neighborhood council record keeping, and that upon missing the required number of board meetings, excluding excused absences, the council presiding officer shall notify the board member of the absences and place on the agenda the removal of the board member at a regular or special board meeting, whereupon the board shall determine the validity of the absences before taking action to remove the board member. Acceptable excused absences shall be defined and listed in the standing rules. The board removal process shall only be implemented in consultation with the Office of the City Attorney. Then in B, just a slight difference in membership meetings. Going down to section 10, resignation. Board member resignation shall be submitted in writing to an executive officer and shall include the secretary. The position shall then be deemed vacant. Any member of the board who ceases to be a stakeholder is required to submit their resignation in writing to the chairperson or vice chairperson and the secretary. If the stakeholder status of a board member is challenged, then the department will contact the board member and verify the stakeholder status using its procedure.
Joan, do we,
Yes.
if we have a question or need something
Oh,
clear,
yes.
do
Well,
we do it now?
yeah, I
Okay.
would do it while we're
Uh,
going through something. Sorry.
In the first part, you have the board member's resignation shall be submitted in writing to an executive officer and shall include the secretary. If you go down a little further, stakeholder is required to submit the resignation in writing to the chairperson, the vice chairperson, and the secretary. The treasurer is an executive officer, so it needs to be clarified that it should read, the first part should read writing to the following executive board members or something of that nature.
Right. So,
Yeah,
rather
well,
than- yeah.
so instead of saying to an executive officer, I guess it should say either the chairperson or vice chairperson.
And shall include the
Yeah,
secretary.
Yeah.
to be
Okay.
really
Yes.
clear. Thank you,
Yes.
Keith.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Keith. That is much clearer. Okay, going down, the council shall have a standing outreach committee, which will report its activities and recommendations to the board monthly at the council meeting. Okay, the council shall maintain a website presence to disseminate information to council stakeholders and others interested in the council. In addition, the board shall create or shall cause to be created a marketing plan to solicit participation from stakeholders. Excuse me 1 minute. Okay, where did I get to? The council, blah, blah, blah. Yes, the plan may include, for example, the creation of flyers, postcards, pamphlets, and other related materials. It may also include email blasts to various organizations, including a regularly scheduled e-blast to local government officials and to the other local organizations. Outreach also shall be undertaken at public events and shall be coordinated with other neighborhood councils when appropriate. The treasurer shall perform duties in accordance with city policies and procedures. The treasurer shall submit a monthly report to the board and oversee the neighborhood council inventory list per the recommendations of the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. Section 3, selection of officers are elected during the city elections of the neighborhood council. Okay, so that is just a change of expression, sorry. Okay, could you excuse me 1 more minute? A standing committee also, we're going down to Article VII, Article 7, committees and their duties, and including the Environmental Justice Committee is being included as a standard committee. Okay. Section 2 of that article, the board may create an ad hoc committee as needed to deal with temporary issues and report its findings, conclusions, or recommendations to the board. An ad hoc committee must have a defined purpose and limited time frame, which may be extended if necessary to carry out a specific task, be composed of board members consisting of fewer than a majority of the quorum, and may include interested stakeholders. The ad hoc committee shall cease to exist upon the completion of its specific task. If the ad hoc committee is not created as set forth above and includes stakeholders, the ad hoc committee must operate under the notice and posting requirements of the Brown Act. Thank you. And again, this is just in section 3, number B or letter B, with the exception, committee appointments with the exception of the executive committee shall be appointed by the board, etc. Interested stakeholders defined as Article 4 stakeholders. Board members may include any interested stakeholders defined as per Article 4 stakeholders. Okay, under that, all prospective committee members, including board members, must submit their intention to be appointed in written form before a board vote on membership and must be present to be appointed. Committee meetings, with the exception of ad hoc committees created in compliance with Article 7, Section 2. So meeting time and place, Section 1, meeting time and place, date and time set by the board or their committees. All meeting locations shall be in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Should we address, I wanted to know if the board should address that, also Zoom as another option.
Yes, why don't we say that we will include some a sentence regarding that, and we'll look at the language. I didn't attend the latest bylaws workshop, but maybe it had something about that in there. So, and that would be the place to add it.
Yes, I didn't either, and I had meant to, but I was working, so I couldn't do it. So, yes, thank you very much, Keith. So section 4, reconsideration. The board may reconsider or amend its actions through a motion for reconsideration defined in its standing rules, and either during the same meeting where the board initially acted, or during the board's next regularly scheduled meeting that follows the meeting where the action subject to reconsideration occurred. Is that clear to everybody? Yeah. Okay. Then going down to Article 10, elections. Regarding the eligibility to vote for the youth board seat, stakeholders must be at least 14 years of age on the day of the election or selection. Grievances submitted by a stakeholder.
This is this is all the language from the Department of Neighborhood Council template.
Yes. So do you want to read this, or do we accept it because that's what we have to put?
I'll accept it.
Okay. We all, if nobody raises their hand or makes a or wishes to change that, then please do so. But otherwise, we're just going on. Thank you very much. Parliamentary authority. Regarding Robert's Rules of Orders and committee meetings also, and then additional rules and or policies and procedures regarding the conduct of the board and or council meetings may be developed and adopted by the board. Okay, and the HGNC board chairperson may appoint a parliamentarian, which we don't usually have, but if we have someone who's interested, I think that would be great. So amendments. No amendment shall operate or alter the eligibility of any board member to serve on the council for the remainder of that board member's term in which the amendment is approved. So we're no difference then. Compliance, the policies approved by the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners, the department's rules and regulations. Code of civility, again, a change of wording pursuant to commission and city regulators. Section 2, training.
Sorry, I lost it again. Hold on.
This cold shit. Oh, damn, it's cold as hell. I'm freezing.
So we are
Okay.
through this, I think, not quite.
All right, Joe.
Do we need to go through any more, or are we okay with accepting that some words have been changed, but not the meaning necessarily? And we've also been changed
Oh, I'll make a motion.
according to make it more clear. Yes.
I'll make the motion with the corrections or additions
Okay.
to the bylaws.
Thank you so much, Keith. That's lovely. Okay, so a second.
Rosalie seconds.
Thank you, Rosalie. And if you would call roll call.
Can I ask a question before we vote?
Oh, absolutely. Please do, Dave.
It's just about the composition, and like I googled it, it looks like most boards, neighborhood councils are adopting it. But I'm interested in the logic behind stakeholders elected, selected, or appointed. That language in particular, is that giving us leeway to appoint someone if a seat becomes vacant, or is that allowing us to like bypass elections?
Yeah, the appointed is, as you stated, if we have a vacancy, as long as it's not close to an upcoming election, the board can appoint someone who's interested. The reason it mentions selection is that a small number of neighborhood councils, they don't hold an actual election like most of us do. They hold a selection, which I've frankly never fully understood what that was. But I think you all get together in a room and people just raise
their hands. Right. That's my understanding. Anyway, it's sort of like in a community, like a meeting hall, and then
like yeah.
Yeah.
So by having that in the wording in there, theoretically we could hold a selection, but that comes out at the time that you're creating your election. There's like an election form that the city clerk sends, and you know, we either use the outreach committee or create a special election committee, and they complete the wording on that form. So you could say selection, but then the board would have to vote to agree to that before that election process.
Yeah.
Must
Got
go
it.
through
Thank
the
you.
board.
Thank you for the clarification.
Sure. Okay. So now we are up to, I seem to have lost my place completely. Sorry.
Roll call.
Oh, here we go. A roll call. Yes, thank you, Keith. Rosalie?
Joan Jacobs,
Yes.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yeah.
Laverne Frericks,
Yes.
Nita Stonehawker,
Yes.
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Arby Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Barbara Tyson Frazier, Barbara. I'll come back to Barbara. Oscar Ruiz,
Oh, sustain, Rosalie. Can you hear me?
abstain. Okay.
Abstain. Yeah, I meant to say abstain. I'm sorry. I'm trying to turn the remote. I'm trying to catch the
Okay, Oscar Ruiz,
Yes.
Frankie Mays,
Can you unmute, Frankie?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
Will Yates. Is Will still here? Yeah.
Will, if you're there, can you unmute? Maybe we can, I don't know.
Okay, we'll just,
Okay, anyway. So that passed, Rosalie?
yeah, so the motion passed.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you very much. Okay, so up to number 6, approval of letter of appreciation to Armonia Investments for use of room 185 at 555 West Redondo Beach Boulevard for in-person meetings since. Was there a date, or do we leave off the since?
What's that?
It says for in-person meetings since. There's a word since at the end of that. I didn't know if you had wanted to put a date in there, or if Miguel had wanted to put a date in there.
Oh, sorry, yeah, never.
In the letter, it says
It's in the letter, yeah, it's in the
In-person
letter.
meetings, yes. Oh, it is, okay. I guess I missed that,
I'll
yes.
share the letter.
Okay, thank you, Keith. All right, so if there are no questions, thank you very much.
Yeah, from April 11th of 2023.
Thank you. Lovely.
And we're very, we're fortunate that that room was available for so long, because now they have leased it out, and so it's fortunate that we're back on Zoom. If we need to meet in person, such as possibly for a Planning and Land Use Committee meeting or our July general membership meeting, there is another room that we can use at this, or it's available at this time, so we'll see, but it isn't quite as convenient as having that room right after you enter the building. But anyway, we just want to express our appreciation, because we weren't charged at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were very accommodating.
Yeah, they have been extremely accommodating, so that's very much appreciated. Okay, good. Thank you.
Rosalie, excuse me.
Yes.
Rosalie, is that for, that doesn't have anything to do with the office, that's just a little room, right?
It's our
The
big
big
meeting
room.
that you go
Yeah.
into.
Right.
that We
But
use
we
for
We
Yeah.
still have the office, we'll still be
Yeah, that's the question. We still have the office.
paying for that, yes.
Oh, okay. And another question, I wasn't for sure when I was to inquire about partnering with True Love
That'll be under board, bring it up under board 7B, brief announcements. You can bring it up then.
Okay.
So did anyone,
I'll make the motion for the letter.
Second,
Sorry, I didn't unmute myself. Yeah, thank you. So Keith, you've made a motion. Do we have a second?
yes,
Rosalie?
Nita.
Thank you, Rita. And if there are no more comments, etc., then or questions, let us go on to the roll call.
Joan Jacobs,
Yes.
Rosalie Preston, yes. Keith Pitts,
Yes.
Laverne Frericks,
Yes.
Nita Stonehawker,
yes,
Dave Trejo,
Yes.
Arby Powell,
Yes.
Eva Cooper Pace,
Yes.
Marvin Bell,
Yes.
Barbara Tyson Frazier,
Yes.
Oscar Ruiz,
Yes.
Frankie May,
Yes.
Jackie Jackson,
Yes.
Will Yates. I think Will is gone. Okay,
Okay,
the motion passes.
thank you, Rosalie. Okay, on to board business and announcements and reports from committee chairs.
So on, for planning and land use, Keith wasn't able to be at the, City Planning Commission meeting last Thursday where the Harbor Gateway Community Plan and also the Wilmington Harbor City Community Plans were discussed, and our council member Tim McCosker did speak in favor of the plan as proposed, which includes a number of zoning changes to currently zoned industrial properties that would become hybrid industrial, especially the ones that are next to residential neighborhoods. There were a lot of industrial real estate people there, and the laborers union that's involved in building industrial properties who spoke against that. But the members of the City Planning Commission were unanimous in their vote to move it forward. So now it will go before the City Council's Plum Committee, which is Planning, Land Use, and Management Committee. And I had first thought it would be about April, but it's probably closer to June. So we did generate a lot of online comment through our stakeholders. And two of us were there in person. I ended up speaking on behalf of the neighborhood council because we had filed our community impact statement. And then you get like 5 minutes instead of like 1 minute or 1.5 minutes to speak. And also on the Tuesday before that, the February 6th, I also went down to the City Council's Plum Committee because the council file on the getting additional resources to figure out the oil drilling issue impacts from what we believe is the well on 126th Street, which now we find out there's 3 wells there. Anyway, that again, our City Council member Tim McCosker spoke in favor of it. The Plum Committee actually voted on that as a consent item along with, you know, a few other items on the agenda that were not controversial. So that will be studied more and then go to the City Council to, you know, get the final funding. But that's kind of going to be a long process. So we're
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anything else? Any other committees? But that's really good news anyway so far. Any other committee reports that we have? Any
Lou
other?
has her hand up.
Please.
Yes, please.
Okay, I would like to know how can stakeholders get a copy of the determination that will be made by the planning commission, please?
Rosalie?
yes, once I did sign up to get it by email as well as physically. So once it is received, then it'll be sent out.
I don't mean that. I mean, how can a stakeholder get a copy for themselves, please?
I'd have to look back at the City Planning Commission agenda. It states it on the agenda. Let me see if I could find that quickly.
Okay, can we come back to you once you found it, Rosalie? And meanwhile, we could go on to.
Yes, can't go back. I mean, go ahead.
Okay, so then any announcements from board members?
Yes, Joan, can I speak now? Hello?
Yeah, this is 7B. You can speak now.
Sorry, I just muted myself instead of unmuting. Yes, Barbara, please do. This is your
Yes, for March 30th, I would like to do actually partner with True Love Baptist Church for the 30th to have a Easter event for the kids in District 7.
Well, the thing is, it ideally, okay, we have time to put it on the March board agenda. Are you looking for funding?
Yes.
Okay, because it really should have been on this agenda to vote funding, because then it has to go through the whole city clerk funding event process.
Well, can I bring the paperwork in tomorrow?
Well,
for
we haven't voted on it. It wasn't on the agenda. So just keep that in mind. We need to get these things on the agenda at least 2 months before the event, so we can, we can try to do it at our March meeting, but that'll give the city clerk only about 2 weeks, and they really get upset about that.
Okay, well, I will put this on the a cleanup for April for District 7. So
Okay, I would suggest, or I'm going to suggest that possibly we could have a special meeting before our next meeting, particularly as we're in Zoom now. Excuse me. As we're on Zoom now, and we could look at both those suggestions, those items, and vote them in, and then we can get them in on time. It isn't so hard, I think, with Zoom meetings to get a special board meeting going. Or what do you think? What does the board think? Would you be willing to do that? All we need is a quorum, and it shouldn't take more than 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20.
Well, Barbara has to be willing to, get the paperwork. We have to work on that, so.
But it sounds as if she is willing to do that, so.
So maybe later this month then.
Yeah. But before our next meeting, I mean, by the end of February, say, if we can have that all in. But the sooner you get it in, the better, Barbara.
Okay, this is for the April target date for the community cleanup, right? For District 7?
No, it would be if you wanted to partner with True Love for March 30th.
We could do both at the same time in the same meeting, I would think.
Okay,
You have it
all
in
right.
plenty of time for the April as well.
Right, okay, that's what I'm trying to prevent
Yeah.
for it to be, okay, yes, thank you.
And
Sure.
what is it at True Love again? You said an Easter program, or?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get some baskets together for the kids, and once I speak more in depth with the minister's wife, then I'll know exactly, and then I can have, so that will give me a chance to break it all down and have it for you.
Right, and also how it's gonna be advertised, because it can't just be for, it has to be advertised widely for that area.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, thank you. So then we will make a date for a special. As soon as the paperwork's in, then we will know that we can make a special or call for a special board meeting. Okay, Barbara?
Okay, I'll get with you tomorrow, Rosalie. I have a
Okay.
doctor's appointment. As soon as I get back, I'll reach
Okay.
out to you.
And
Okay.
there's someone raising their hand, call in user 2.
Laverne,
Yes.
go ahead. You were raising your hand?
No, it wasn't me, but I do want to share a little bit
Oh.
about the traffic recession.
Go
Okay,
ahead anyway. Thank you.
and then call the user.
Have Laverne
Okay.
first, okay? Can we hear Laverne first, as she did? She did speak up. Okay,
Okay.
Laverne.
Well, I'll go real quick. It's regarding the traffic signal rescission, determination that the authority for the traffic signal at the intersection of 168th Street and Figueroa Street, previously authorized via traffic control report dated November 5th, 2014, but now has reversed decision due to Carson's decision on increased costs. And that's about it as far as the letter that we received.
LADOT sent the neighborhood council a letter informing us of that, which was disappointing. It was the signal at 168th and Figueroa that had been approved in 2014, but now
They reversed the decision.
right, LADOT said they wouldn't push forward because the city of Carson finally let them know that if it was going to be put in, they would have to buy some of the property on the east side of Figueroa, and it was going to be too expensive. And supposedly they did a new traffic study that showed it wasn't really warranted.
Okay, thank you. Barbara, did you have something to say again?
No, ma'am.
Call-in user 2.
Nita, go ahead.
We're still waiting for call-in user 2.
I believe that's me.
I believe it is.
Okay,
Go
great.
ahead. Thank you.
Oh, is that Octaviano?
It is. Thank you. Thank you
Hi,
for recognizing my voice.
Hi,
This is
Octaviano.
Octaviano. Good evening, everybody. So sorry, I'm calling in late. I've been on for a bit, but I had a little trouble logging in earlier in the evening for your meeting. So I just wanted to at least say hello, and if it's appropriate and okay to just share a few updates and reminders with you all.
I think we're in good time at the moment, so if you would like to share your updates, that would be super. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. So again, my name is Octaviano Rios. I'm with the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. I'm calling in. I can't see you all, unfortunately, but hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. I missed your January meeting, so hopefully it's not too late to wish you all a happy new year. And tomorrow's Valentine's, so wishing you all a wonderful Valentine's Day full of love and friendship. And I also want to extend a thank you to all those that attended the Harbor Community Plan hearing last Thursday. I know Rosalie was there. I'm not sure if anybody else participated on behalf of the board or as an individual. It was a very important hearing that the council member attended and the planning department held to hear feedback from neighborhood councils and community members about land use and updating the plan with regards to any conflicts with between schools and residential areas and industry areas. So I know the Harbor area was very well represented. I know you mentioned it earlier. So I just wanted to extend a thank you to folks for representing the Harbor area during that hearing. And just a quick reminder, I know you had an item tonight about with regards to amending your bylaws. We'll wait for your submission as a department to review them. The deadline is April 1st, so it seems like you're very well prepared to submit those on time. And a quick reminder too to to you all that all our neighborhood council presidents have been invited to a virtual Brown Act training that's scheduled this month on the 29th from 6 to 7:30 approximately to cover some of the basics about the Brown Act. And this is in partnership with the City Attorney's Office Neighborhood Council Advice Division. So this is their first meeting in a very long time with our presidents to discuss some of the basics about transparency, integrity, and effective governance. We did share an RSVP link, and for those chairs, for those presidents that aren't able to attend, we're asking our neighborhood councils to appoint a substitute to go in their place. It is virtual, thank goodness. So hopefully that will increase the number of attendees to then bring back some very important information to all of our board members.
Octaviano, can more than just 2 board members attend if they want to?
You know, I'm going to speak on my own behalf because I've been doing this for a while. You know, there's always those folks that are in training to step into leadership roles. If there are some board members that are that you feel that should be in attendance, that are great candidates to possibly in the future step into a chair position. But I'm not talking about just the whole board, but maybe as a committee chair of an important committee that's very busy for you all. I know some folks have the Plum Committee being a very popular and very demanding committee meeting that requires some skills, right? I would encourage them to attend as well. The question and answer period is very limited, so I would recommend that just the chair hold those questions available for the Neighborhood Council Advice Division, and then anybody else as an attendance for your neighborhood council, just be there to listen in and gain that valuable information. So yeah, Rosalie, yeah, I definitely encourage folks to attend it, but just limit the questions during the meeting for the presidents of the neighborhood councils. I think that was it on my end, and there's a link in your neighborhood council profile. There was also an email sent out with regards to this particular training. And that concludes my report on my end. Thank you again, and my apologies for jumping in so late with all these reminders, and wish you all a wonderful rest of the month.
Thank you.
Octaviano.
Thank you, Octaviano.
Octaviano, what's that date again, John?
Sorry?
What's that date again?
For the Brown Act training for the presidents is February 29 from 6 to 7.
This is Lou Watson.
So it's really for the chair and the vice chair and maybe one other person.
Well, it's being promoted just for presidents, and if the presidents are available to appoint someone that is able to step in and bring back some information to the board. So yeah, and even though it's virtual, as you know, you've all had that experience with virtual meetings. The more that you have in attendance, the more chaotic it can be, and they really wanted to keep it a little bit more intimate as you can have, right? For 99 presidents. So it is limited, and I'm not sure what the restrictions are on the back end, but if we're able to accommodate more, just have those folks available to be able to jump in at that moment's notice.
Thank you. Barbara.
Yes, I just wanted to know when was the meeting? I just want to sit in and listen. I don't want to comment or anything.
It's February 29th. in the evening.
Yes, I have it written down. Thank you. You'll send the Zoom, it'll be sent, right? In the
From 6 to
comments,
7.
Well,
for-
we'll see if our chair Miguel is available. He's having a lot of difficulty right now because of his unpredictable work schedule. But
It's from 6 to 7 in the evening, Barbara.
right, I just need to know the information when, will it be posted out? Okay, I can just get it later because I have October's
I'm
card.
sure
I'll
it'll
just
be
read.
posted if you need it
Yeah,
to listen in. Not a problem, I would think.
okay,
I mean,
yeah, I
that's
just
what I
want to
think,
hear.
but
I have,
we go by what they say.
yeah, I have
Okay.
nothing to say. I just want to listen. I just want to be,
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That was my same request. If I promise to stay mute, can I listen?
I'm sure you may listen if you promise to stay mute. Stay mute. I'm going to do the same thing. If Miguel is there and doesn't need me to be there in his place, then I will listen in and stay mute.
Awesome.
Promising. Okay. Thank you,
Um,
everybody.
There's my hand up. I think Lou have her hand up, or Jackie.
I do.
If somebody has their hand,
Yeah, Lou does. Lou.
Octaviano,
Hello, Ms. Watson.
hi, would you please contact me?
Yeah, I can't hear you on my end. I don't know if you can repeat your comment.
Will you please contact me?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
okay. Are there any other comments or questions for Octaviano? Otherwise, if not, I wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day and enjoy the rest of your evening. If you're sleepy, I hope you sleep well. And I call this meeting adjourned. Octaviano, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.